your eyesight.
Uh-huh.
It can be put back in place if you allow it to come to you rather than you trying to look out.
I think modern ophthalmology would be interested in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you allow the gift to come to you, the gift of sight is actually more than just looking.
Yeah. What's remarkable about what you're saying is that it's so obviously common sense, but we live in a world where these thoughts are interrupted. And even myself, I know there's much emphasis on experiencing the now, but they're words unless you can actually.
So right now, we're sitting here,
Uh-huh.
and we're connecting to one another, and you can feel a difference until you talk about the past. And then the shutter comes down.
Yeah.
So as soon as you started to talk about the birth of your daughter, the energy started to flow. And the grateful feeling that you have inside actually showed on the outside. And at that point, everything was beautiful until you led into the difficulty.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I guess I got confused with you talking earlier about going back to the original source.
So, yeah. So the original source is your creator.
Uh-huh.
Good, bad, or indifferent, it all fits. So in the world that you're experiencing at the moment, it's good because I'm starting to actually confuse a few of the patterns. And in confusing those patterns, we'll start to get an energy flow that you haven't felt for a long time. And that's my aim, so that you can actually have something more to play with than the past or the difficulties. And you can start to feel there is something active in you that can make a difference whether you can see or not. And then it's not important that you have difficulty or had difficulty. It'll disappear in the joy of the beautiful feelings
Uh-huh.
that you can allow in your life.
Uh-huh.
And you watch. If you're allowed to move the energies, you will start to feel...
The God-given energies that we
Yes.
all have.
Yeah.
They get convoluted by our society and a lot of
And
thought.
it doesn't matter why.
Uh-huh.
Because right now, you can play with that energy and enjoy it. And the pressure that you're starting to feel in your head, at the back here, is because there's an energy starting to move
Uh-huh.
that hasn't moved for a long time. And you'll feel changes, okay?
You sure are giving me a good talking to.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've heard this rap in a long time.
Yeah.
But it sort of falls into place,
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Because,
And if you believe it to be so, it is so.
no,
No?
you know it.
You have to know it. You just know it.
Yeah, I often
feel
tell
it.
people, you know, if I came up to you and said, do you believe you've got a front door on your house? You'd say, no, I know.
Yeah.
And I'd say, but do you believe? And you'd say, go away, I know there's a front door there.
Yeah.
There is no comparison. They don't connect together. If you believe doesn't mean it is.
Uh-huh.
But if you know it is, you don't have any other questions. And you know your connection, and you know your strength, and you know you can make a difference to the world, and you're very disappointed that it seems like it failed. It hasn't failed. I can assure you what you're doing is so important to the world. You're just not seeing it at the moment, and you don't want to see it until it proves to you that it's real. And so your body follows you.
I think I've fallen victim at times, even last night thinking about coming on today, that I know my daughter is a very powerful person for an 8-year-old in that clip, and maybe for most 8-year-olds, and that how could that all evaporate and go away?
It hasn't.
Yeah, and the thing is to just kind of believe that it's still there, and it will manifest itself.
You know it's there.
Uh-huh.
And it's not, manifesting doesn't determine whether it's there or not.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about your front door, you know, but I've never seen it. I don't have to. It's there. You know what's in your daughter, and you know what's in you. and it is much, much more than what's showing on the outside. Allow it to be there.
You may have the faith, and
just allow it to be there.
yeah.
You see what happens when you have to put a word to it? It becomes the same as all the other things you have to have faith in. No.
Just feel it.
Know it.
Know it.
And know that you are making a difference. I can assure you, you're making a really, very big difference. You're sitting here talking to people, and you are actually considering what I'm talking to you about.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually considering that there is another way. And that is a beautiful thing. Transmit that to the world. You will allow people to actually change their world. Just like you will allow your daughter to change her world, because as soon as it changes in you, it is transmitted to her because you're so closely connected.
Uh-huh.
The precision that you can have in making sure that your energy is such that it's perfect for her will change the world. This is true because you're transmitting it to everybody. And you're sitting back here using the skills of the unknown in the greatest way possible to support your daughter and everybody like her without anybody really understanding how you're doing it.
Because it just is.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the reasons for coming on is to, as an educator, is to try to help other people if they can see themselves through me.
Yeah.
Or see their children through my...
Great. And if you're going to actually pull all that energy back to where it's right now, it's constructive, and it's totally helpful to your daughter, everybody else will be able to do the same. Because they're looking at you and they're seeing that you're going, well, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do something different. Maybe there's a little bit more in me than I thought. But the only way that works is if you are aware that there is another way and that you can do it without knowing how.
And that source actually is within you.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And it's a total connection to the greatest being that you can possibly know.
I don't think, Robert, we get too many reinforcing messages the way you're giving right now. And the obvious goes unnoticed sometimes. And I think I've been stuck in that spot without hearing actually healing words. I get the feeling you have healing words about the way it can be done or works.
And you can start to feel a little pressure in your chest where your heart is starting to respond.
I think I can, to be honest with you.
Good.
Because there's a lightening of the spirit, I think.
Good. Yeah. And your eyes have actually changed.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. You're actually getting more active with the movement of your eyes. They're not just sitting there. So,
oh, yeah.
So understand that your heart is your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And your heart is where you work from.
Yeah.
And your connection to your source, your creator, your greatest, your higher being, whatever you like to know it as, is there permanently.